I'm headed to Middlebury, Jayco, to pick up a trailer. It's Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. This is a bad start because there must be an accident or something. I'm like 2 miles from my house and traffic's just not moving. It backs up a lot here on the regular, but this is much worse. So yeah, this probably should have left a little earlier. I didn't plan on leaving too early because I'm only going to Madison today and it's kind of a shorter run, so I figured I would just leave at, I'd go to the gym and then leave at a decent time, but yeah, I should have probably left earlier to beat whatever this is. Trying to get over. But yeah, so it looked like on the GPS there was like a car stop, so I'm guessing there must have been an accident or something. Hopefully once I merge onto this other highway here, hopefully it gets moving. I think I've got a pretty decent size unit today. Like I said, it's going up to Madison, so not that far, probably 4 hours after I pick up. So I think I should be to Middlebury around 10 a.m. Chicago time, which is 11 a.m. Middlebury time. Up to Madison about 2:30, and then I should be home around 5:30. That's kind of what my plan was anyways, trying to be home around 5. I will probably fill up in Middlebury since I'll be passing by that station I usually fill up at. That is cheaper than like other areas in Indiana and cheaper than Chicago area, because right now I'm sitting at about 73% fuel, my Edge says, and I'll probably be around like 60% by the time I get to Middlebury, maybe even like 55. So not sure that'll be enough to get me into Wisconsin. It might. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll gamble it, because I think fuel in Wisconsin, even with the Open Roads app, is probably going to be at least like 30 cents a gallon cheaper, if not more. So it definitely adds up. Like if you run 3-4 loads in a week, for me, I'm filling up because I don't have an aux tank. I just have my 48 gallon factory fuel tank. So for me, I fill up every time I run, sometimes twice, just to capitalize on the better fuel up north. You definitely notice a difference in the cost of running if you fill up like every time in Indiana or Chicago versus getting up into Wisconsin. And somebody in the comments had asked, like, do you always fill up with your card, like your Open Roads card? I try to, but not every fuel station accepts it. So there's times that I don't have a choice and I have to fill up with my debit card, which is tied in with the, like, it's the same account as the Open Roads one, but it's I don't get a discount, it's just a debit card. So there's time, like, so no matter what, I'm still filling up using my bank account that I have dedicated for RV transport. Just makes it cleaner with my taxes, especially because I'm a small business owner as well, so I'm trying to separate when I'm filling up for RV transport and when I'm filling up for my business, which it's actually not that hard because I have 2 separate accounts, and then it's separate trucks. So I have another truck that I use for my business. So it's not too hard for me, or I should say it's not too inconvenient for me to separate those, but I do to answer that question, I do try to fill up as much as possible with my open roads. I was using mud flap in the beginning. The thing I didn't like about mud flap, and I do have a video on it if you go back and want to watch, but I'll do this briefly, is mud flap, I had to go in and give the attendant a code that then they processed, and then they turned the fuel pump on, and I could fill up. And it added too much time, and it might be slightly bigger discount than open roads, but if it is, it's not, it's like negligible. It's very small, and honestly, it's been a while since I looked, but I don't even know if there is a difference. I think open roads might charge you, there's like a processing fee, I think it's like $2. I don't know that mud flap does do that, but again, I just felt like it was taking too much time to go in, because you never know what kind of line you're going to be waiting in. If there's one attendant and people are trying to buy sodas and coffee and whatever, it's just like you could just be sitting there. And then also I felt like I was blocking the pump longer because, you know, I had to run in, then go back out and fill up. So, and then the other thing I didn't like was mud flap charges your card $300 right away as soon as you ask for the code, and then whatever you fill up with, they reimburse the rest later on. It's just, I had like one issue where I had to request for some reason it thought my zip code was, like the app thought I was in Michigan and I was in Indiana. So I clicked on the gas station and it was the wrong one, so then the person couldn't process the code, so I had to click on it again when I found the right gas station, and they processed a new code and they charged me another $300. So it was like an immediate draw of like $600, which is fine, like there's plenty of money there, but then I always was trying to remember to go back and double check and make sure that I got my reimbursements and stuff, and I'm sure they don't I'm sure it's an automated system that they're not going to forget to reimburse you, but it's just, I don't know, it just felt like a little bit more tedious process. And open roads, it's like a debit card, you just swipe it, punch in a code, answer a few questions on the screen, and you're pumping fuel. So it takes slightly longer than like a regular debit card. Usually the savings is, I would say, like 30 to 50 cents a gallon. So it's definitely worth it. And like I said, it's tied into my bank account. It debits it right away. There's an app you can go in. It shows you how much you saved. It shows you all the charges. So, and that's like when I'm doing my week videos, like the end of the week videos where I talk about how much I spent. What I do is I just go into that Open Roads app and I check and see what I paid for fuel. Now, like the caveat to that is if I know I had to fill up like once where I couldn't use that, then I got to go into my bank account and look and see, you know, with my debit card how much I paid there. But I would say it's like once a week, maybe even once every 2 weeks that I end up filling up with just my debit card versus my Open Roads app. I do kind of plan out my drives that way. So like, and I'm delivering to a lot of the same places, so I kind of know like where I can fill up, and you just kind of remember, like I know in Indiana where I can fill up with my Open Roads. I know a lot of places in like Wisconsin, a lot of times like the speedways or the TAs will take it, and there's another one that the Quick Trips will take it. But it has to be a fuel station that has an actual truck stop filling lane. So, and you can only use it in the truck stop filling lane. So that's something like, let's say you stop at a Quick Trip, you can't just pull up to the front in the one or two diesel stations that they have. You have to go to the truckers lane and fill up there, otherwise you won't be able to use that Open Roads app. So that's something to keep in mind. I like it better anyways. Typically those pumps are faster flowing. They're going to be, I don't know if they're tied into the same, they're probably not. There's probably separate diesel filling tanks, and I can guarantee you the diesel that is in the diesel truck lanes is probably fresher, gets used a lot more, hopefully less junk in the system. So I feel like you're probably getting better fuel. And like I said, usually they have the fast flowing pumps, so if you want to get in and get out, which in this line of work, time is money. So the faster you can get moving, and like I said it a lot in my other videos, I feel like if I have to stop at a gas station, I would like minimum 15-20 minutes, because by the time you exit the highway, pull into the station, fill up, run in, use the bathroom, and keep on going, like inevitably it's 15-20, sometimes longer. So for me, you know, it's the faster, the more I can speed that up, the better. So I do plan out my fuel stops. I do try to use the open roads as much as possible. I am exploring another card. I just can't remember what the name of it is. I saw somebody posted about it. So I'm probably gonna do some more research on it, and if it's good, I'll probably apply for that one, because a lot of people were recommending it. I wish I could remember what it was, but as I do a little bit more research, and if I do end up getting one of those cards, I will make a video about that. I think what intrigued me was I think people said there's no fee for it. So if that's the case, then it's probably going to save me like $2 a fill up or something like that. So close to like $8 to $10 a week, which doesn't seem like much, but if I can save $8 to $10 a week and I'm not adding any extra time, why not? Like, you know, let's call it $500 a year or so, maybe a little less, but still, it's something. And again, like in this line of work, any little bit of savings you can do will help out your profits. Like that's the name of the game. Like the more you can save, the more money you're gonna make. So or more money you're gonna keep for yourself, I guess. Your higher gross or your higher net. Your gross isn't gonna change, so you know, you drive, you get paid a certain amount per mile. So, there was some questions about like pay per mile. I try to go over it often, but I get $2 a mile, and it doesn't matter if the trailer's 20 feet, 40 feet. It doesn't matter if I'm picking up from our storage lot or one of the further manufacturing plants. It's $2 a mile, and it's a set pay rate. So like I know when I get my load sent to me, I can look at my little sheet and it says like, you know, Jayco plant to say Madison, like I'm doing today, it's $570. Now, like the caveat to that is it's $570 whether or not I pick up at Jayco or I pick up at our storage lot, and our storage lot is like 15 to 20 minutes closer. So I save, you know, 30 to 40 minutes during my trip just picking up at our storage. But I would say right now, most of the time I'm picking up at the plant, so I am losing a little bit of time and money. But anytime I can pick up at our storage lot, I just consider it like a bonus. So I'm not looking at it like necessarily losing money. I just look at it as, you know, if I'm picking up at our storage lot, then consider it extra money in my time, money in my pocket. Because I can't rely on the fact, I can't rely on, I'm going to pick up at our storage lot every single time, because it's just not, you know, it goes kind of in spurts, and I believe it has to do with like how many units are being produced, you know, what time of the year it is, we got to move, what time of the month it is, we got to move them out of the plant over to storage while we transfer them to the dealerships. So I would say majority of my pickups since I started have been at the plants. In the first few, like 3 weeks of running, I would say, I pretty much always picked up at our storage lot. So I kind of got used to it. It was nice, but I'm just getting used to accepting the fact that I'm going to be running a little bit farther to pick up, which is fine. As far as this week goes, this is load number 2. I did the one on Monday, which was a holiday. I ran that up to Appleton, a little bit, not like a really long run, but a little bit longer. And then this one to Madison. I think Appleton pays like $660. This one's $570. So what's that, like $1230? I don't know what the rest of the week is gonna hold. It seems like maybe we don't have a lot of loads right now. I didn't come out and ask that question, but earlier in the week I had told my dispatcher, hey, I could do 3 more loads on top of that Appleton load, and he said he was gonna let me know. And then I didn't hear anything. So then yesterday, which was Tuesday, I was planning on taking off anyway because I didn't have a babysitter. I texted him kind of later in the day and just asked him, like, hey, do you think we're gonna have any loads for tomorrow? Because I was gonna cancel my babysitter if I didn't have any loads. So he did say he had one, and then he sent it later in the day. So I just have this one load right now. I'll reach back out after I drop this one off and just see, because I do have sitters set up for Thursday, Friday this week. I would love to run 4 loads if I can. If not, I mean, 2 loads is fine. Still $1,200 something bucks for, 2 days worth of work. Probably going to be right around 20 hours. But yeah, if I can run 2 more loads, even if they're like shorter loads, let's say paying like in the 420 to 500 range, that's going to put me probably over, it'll definitely put me over 2,000 gross for the week, which is, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, that's kind of what I aim for. Sometimes I can knock out, 2,000 doing 3 loads. Sometimes it takes me 4 loads. Sometimes I get up closer to like 2,500. But I try to gross north of 2,000, whether that's 3 or 4 loads. Doesn't always work out. I think my lowest paying week was like $1,390. With the exception of, there was 1 week that we just didn't have loads. It was the first week in January because the manufacturers closed down the last 2 weeks of the year, so we had to give them a week to catch back up. So technically, I guess that would be my lowest week because I didn't make anything. But then my lowest actually week where I got a paycheck was like $1,390 for 3 loads, 3 short loads. So if I only end up running 2 loads this week, this will be my new lowest grossing week for when I actually run, and it'll be the first time I've only ran 2 loads in a week. I obviously had the 1 week where I ran 0, but then every other week has been, I averaged 3.5 loads. Like if you take all the weeks and divide them, it ends up being 3.5 because my min is 3, my high is 4, and they're pretty close to even how many weeks I ran 4 loads, how many weeks I ran 3 loads. So 3.5 loads on average per week, and I average just over $2,000 gross for the weeks if you take all the weeks and divide them. So that's kind of, there was one, I did have a question or a comment on one of my videos. It looks like there's a transporter in front of me and a 5th gen Ram. I just see his weight distribution hitch and his mud flap. So usually if you see that headed towards Indiana, good chance it's a transporter. I had another comment where I should say it comes kind of a lot, and I'll probably make another video on this, maybe like when I start answering some more questions when they flow in. But I get a lot of questions about like why I don't want to put out the company that I transport for in my videos. And it's not that I don't want to put it out there. It's that I had a conversation with the owner, and he wasn't sure whether or not he wanted that information on YouTube. So I'm just kind of sticking with that I'm not going to do something that he doesn't want. I'm not saying that eventually it's not going to be somewhere I can put it out there. But I have my email address in the description for the channel, and I always say, like, you're more than welcome to email me, and I will give you whatever information you want, and I'll send my dispatcher's contact information. So if you're interested in driving for the company that I do and I am leased on with, I will get you in touch with them. You guys can see if it's a good fit and go from there. I will say I do actually get like a sign-on bonus for anybody that signs on that I refer. You have to drive with the company for 6 months, and then after that I think I get like $1,000 sign-on bonus. I'm not like pushing for that, and to be honest, it would be a lot of like tracking on my end. So I haven't tried to do that. I don't know if anybody's been hired on because of my videos or because they found me and I gave them the information. Because the process would be like me following up with like my dispatcher or the person that asked for the information. Hey, did you ever reach out? Are you hired on? Are you driving? Because we don't have, like, it's a small company. We don't have a system in place, like, to kind of track that information. So it's kind of on me to remember when the person got hired, remind my dispatcher after 6 months that he's been driving for 6 months, he or she. So, like, I don't really put a lot into it. Just knowing that it would be kind of a lot to track. So, but there is, I wanted to make sure people do understand that I do. So, like, if you, I guess for me, anyway, like a way that you could help me is if I give you that information, and you do end up getting hired on, maybe just like shoot me back an email, said like letting me know that you're hired on, and then that kind of gives me the opportunity to follow up down the line and see how things are going, and then also, get my sign-on bonus if that happens. But like I said, I'm not banking on any of that. It would be nice, but I'm not banking on it. So yeah, email me. I'll put you in touch. Again, we don't run long loads, so keep that in mind. I think the longest mileage we do is like 550 miles from, call it, Middlebury. So if you're looking for long loads where you're out on the road, we don't do that. You could probably run back and forth and do it that way if you want. I do believe that you can do that and make just as much money as the guys that run, say, to California or Colorado or whatever. You just won't get that single pay of like $3,000. Like, if we don't have a $3,000 load, you would have to run multiple loads to get to $3,000. But you can probably do it in the same time frame. So just keep that in mind. CDL does get paid higher than non-CDL with the company that I'm leased on with. You do have to have a 3/4 ton or larger diesel pickup truck. As far as I know, we don't make any exceptions to that. No fuel discount, so you'll have to find your own, like I did with the open roads, and no tollway reimbursements. But the pay, from what I've been able to figure out, is higher than other companies. So while you don't get those discounts, you are getting more pay per loaded companies, but I've heard of like even some companies now paying $2 a mile transporting a park model. So I don't know. You got to make your decision. I made mine based off of I get to be home every night, and that's what works for me in my situation. So, but I want to put that information out there. Again, if you have questions, I have a post on my page where you can put questions. I will make a video answering them. My email is in the page description. If you want to get in touch with the company that I'm leased down with, I'll definitely put you in touch with them. A little hint, if you don't feel comfortable emailing me, or I don't know, you just don't want to, if you watch some of my early on videos and just random videos throughout, you probably can find the name of the company that I haul for in those videos. You just kind of have to be vigilant and be watching for it, and you'll find it. But I will tell you, even with that information, you probably aren't going to find the contact information you need. So, but like I said, if you'd rather do it that way, I'm sure if you're a good investigator, you could pinpoint the company name and then figure out who owns it and contact them that way. Or you could just email me and I'll put you in touch. All right, we're at Jayco. Looking to find my unit. Nice snow-covered parking lot. It's pretty packed down here though, compared to going to some of the other places. But I'm looking for row 27, so I'm pretty far back into the lot. Let's see if we can. There's a lot of. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but there's a lot of trailers here, and they're still bringing them in like nonstop. So they're packing it in here pretty good. I did get another load. Same exact trailer. That's probably in the same aisle because it's like the next VIN down from the one I'm picking up today. So I'm gonna see if I can locate it while I'm here. That way tomorrow when I come, it'll be a little bit quicker. But that one's going to Sheboygan. So I haven't been up there in a little while. That's like my #1 spot that I go to though. Let's see here. It might be this row up here. This is 20, the next row after, I think. This is 26, 27. I'm looking for 0095, and then tomorrow is 0096. So let's see if she was right. The lady told me it was in this row. I hope it is. 0093. Let's see. There's 0094, so it should be like this black one. Here it is. I didn't see 0096, but it looks like there's more back there. Let's double check the paperwork, make sure that I got it. Because sometimes the last 4 could be the same with different digits in the front, so you just want to make sure you match up the entire. Let's see, this one 4C0095. That's my unit. Alright, I'm gonna get this thing hooked up and I'll start the video back up after I get hooked up here. Okay, I'm all hooked up, ready to go. Got my number. I don't see any damage on the unit. It's a really nice trailer. My lock on there, chains are all hooked up, breakaway. Battery's all good. Let's see, it's pretty big. I think I pulled it before. 37 feet, 0.175 inches. Yeah, 8,297, so just under 8,300 pounds dry. Everything looks pretty good. Of course, no sewage cap. I think these things are frozen to close the sewage pipes off, so I'm not gonna force them. Let's see. This unit has a slide on this side and the back. And then it actually has a trailer hitch, which is pretty cool. And then it has a slide out here on the side, 2 awnings. Looks like probably bunk beds in the back. Little outdoor kitchen. Speaker system, which is nice. I think there's an outlet. Yeah, this is a really nice trailer. I didn't film the inside of it because when you open it up, it's literally just the bathroom door there, and then this slide blocks anything that you would be able to see. But one thing I noticed when I opened it up was the bathroom door was swinging open, so always check that, because even though we're not responsible for the inside of the units, if I would have drove down the road with it like that, it would have been banging around and hitting the stairs. Let's see if I can turn this. Yeah, it would have been hitting the stairs, which probably by the time I got it to the dealership, it would have had some damage to the door or the stairs, probably the door. So yeah, I always look in to see if there's anything I need to do. Luckily, I didn't have to actually get inside. I could reach in and close the door because my shoes are obviously all snowy and didn't want to get it all dirty. I'm pretty sure I pulled this camper once before, the same one, or same model. I got the same one tomorrow, so I didn't see it, but it's probably somewhere here in the back. I think I'm gonna see if I can get out. I don't know. There's a back gate here. They're having trouble with the gate in the front. I don't know if it's frozen or what, but so I was gonna go out the gate I came in, but I'm gonna see if I can. It's kind of a tight corner here. Got it though. I'm gonna see if I can go out the back gate here, because it'll save me a little bit of drive up through the parking lot, which is a little bit slow because of how rough the parking lot is. This trailer does nosedive a little bit with my hitch setup, but nothing terrible. And I'm not gonna adjust my hitch. Oh yeah, this gate's open, which is good. Might start spinning here, trying to get up this little hill. We'll see. But yeah, so it is gonna probably nosedive a little bit, but I'm not gonna unhook and adjust my hitch. It's kind of a pain because some trailers sit absolutely level, some nosedive a bit. I've seen some comments about like, oh, like it drives me up a wall when I see guys going down the road with them nosediving. Like, I get it because I'm doing it. Like, it's kind of a pain when you get all hooked up and then you're like, all right, I need to adjust my hitch, and then you're gonna unhook. You know, like I always say, time is money. And actually, I don't notice, as long as it's not nosediving like super, super hard, I don't notice a major ride quality issue. And if anything, I think it probably having trouble getting out of here. I should have put it in four-wheel. This guy let me go. As long as it's not nosediving too hard, I don't notice like a major drive quality issue. And then I think it honestly might help with gas mileage a little bit because it cuts down on the wind. But that's just, I don't have any like factual data to show that. But I think when it nosedives a slight bit, the wind probably kicks over the top of it a little easier. At least I tell myself that. But one thing I'm actually looking at, and I made a video on it a while ago, I never did it. I'm gonna get a fifth wheel hitch. And I was looking on like Marketplace to see about maybe getting a used one, but I think I'm just gonna order a new one because I want to get a nice one, and I was looking for the B&W Companion because I have the puck system in my truck, and so it's like a quick connect type thing. So I want to get one that's like that, where I don't have to have it installed. It's just a quick connect. I might as well utilize what's there. And I know there's a couple brands. I know Ford has one, but I've seen really good stuff on the B&W Companion one. So I think I'm gonna get that one. I couldn't find any used ones for my truck, because what I understand is like the Chevy, the Ram, and the Ford all have slightly different systems. So like you can't get a hitch that's designed for the Ram and have it work on the Ford and stuff like that. I could be wrong, but as far as I can tell, that's the case, because I could find one for the Chevy, I could find one for the Ram, but I could not find a used one for Ford. Brand new looks like they're about $1,400. So I was looking, I found a couple of the Ford ones. I don't know if it's like a tech that works at Ford that's taking them off, but there's a couple brand new ones that came with the Ford trucks that are being sold on Marketplace right now. And the cheapest one I could find is like $900 all the way up to $1,300. It looks nice, but I don't know that it's as good as the B&W Companion. And for a few $100 extra, I think I'm just gonna buy that one. And it's like $1,400, but I want to get a fifth wheel myself. I'm pretty positive I'm gonna do that this year. So obviously I'll need a fifth wheel hitch. I don't know why my phone is looking a little bit. Maybe that's better. So like I could use it obviously for that, and then it's gonna open up a lot of opportunity for me pulling campers. Like I think about like 20% more availability. So like the times that I'm a little bit slow, I probably would be a little less slow if I had a fifth wheel hitch. So it is an investment, but I think it'll pay for itself. I don't get paid any more per mile to pull a fifth wheel. It's just gonna, you know, like weeks where I may only get 2 or 3 loads, maybe I can get that fourth load because I have a fifth wheel. And then at the end of the year, that's a tax write-off. So like I just think even if I were to not upgrade my trailer to a fifth wheel, I do think that getting a fifth wheel hitch makes sense if I'm going to be doing this type of work. So I'm going to wait to hear back on some of the Facebook ones and like just kind of keep an eye on it for the rest of today, see if anything new pops up. But the one Ford one that I saw for $900, I did request information from that guy just to see if I can come pick it up, and he never responded. So it might be an old post and it might have already sold or something. If I could get that one for like $900, I'll probably do that. Otherwise, I'll just spend the $1,400 and get the B&W. But that's an update. If anybody's got the Ford with the factory puck system for the fifth wheel, and you know of a hitch that is not the Ford or the B&W that you like and it's priced decently, throw that in the comments if you could, because I'm not opposed to looking at other ones. It's just from the research I did and like, I don't know, just watching some videos and stuff, seemed like that was the one to go with. I think Ford probably makes a good unit for it. Like I can't imagine the factory Ford one would be bad. So I'm okay with going with that one. But if there's another one that I'm not knowing about, I would like to hear about that as well. But I want to make a decision because if I have to order it, I want to order it like this week so that I can have it soon. So I would like to be running fifth wheels by next week because like I said, right now I know for a fact I have this load. I did a load Monday, and then I at least have one for tomorrow, but I don't know if I have one for Friday. But I bet you if I had a fifth wheel hitch, I'd have a lot better chance of having one for Friday. So at the end of the day, you gotta spend money to make money sometimes. So that's what I'm gonna do. And like I said, hopefully I'm gonna end up upgrading my travel trailer to a fifth wheel. I had a question, and maybe I need to make another video, but if anybody in the or anybody that's watching does this and can put it in the comments, let me know. My travel trailer that I currently have is a 37-foot travel trailer, and I just bought it a year ago, so I'm not sure that I could trade it in or sell it and not lose a ton. So something I was thinking about doing was just renting it out on like one of those renters pages. I'm wondering if anybody does that, if there is actually any money in it, if it's worth it, any risks that you guys, I mean, I'm on some of the pages, and like I know like there's some issues with insurance and like renters and stuff. Like you're gonna get that no matter what. But I'm just interested to hear in the comments what people think. If there's enough money in renting just one travel trailer, or is it going to be more of a headache than it's worth? But that's something I'm thinking of, so I don't just take a loss on trading it in or selling it outright, so I can get the unit that I want now. So And if I don't get the fifth wheel, like my travel trailer that I have, I'm super happy with it. I don't really have any reason to get the fifth wheel other than like it's just a nice unit. So if I'm sticking with my travel trailer that I have, I'm okay with it. We are planning on taking like a long trip this year, maybe down like the East Coast south towards like South Carolina and stuff. And I think towing a fifth wheel would be a lot nicer than towing a 37-foot travel trailer. But again, it's not like a necessity. So, but everything I've read is that the fifth wheels tow a lot nicer. A lot of people say you get better gas mileage towing them, which is kind of crazy because they sit up higher. But it'll be interesting to see once I start doing that how I feel about it. I don't know that it's going to catch the wind as bad as kind of what I was thinking, but I'm going to be stopping here for fuel. I'm down to 56%, so I think topping off here in Middlebury makes sense because I don't know with the size trailer I have on that I'm going to be able to make it into Wisconsin, and I don't want to be in a situation where I'm stuck paying more for fuel because I have to stop like in Chicagoland or getting off and having to be in like an inconvenient station that's not really set up for trucks. So I'm going to stop here where I usually stop at the Speedway, top off on fuel. I haven't checked the price, but it doesn't really matter. I kind of have to do it. So I'm going to stop here and do that, and then I'll film a little bit later. It was snowing super hard, like bottom side of Lake Michigan, kind of by like New Buffalo, Michigan City area. It was like a complete whiteout, snow-covered roads. It only lasted for like 20 miles, so I think I'm going to have to go through that. It's probably going to suck, but looks like it's just for a short period of time that it's snowing heavy. Otherwise, it's just like flurries here, and then it wasn't doing anything in Chicago. So if it's really bad, I'll probably throw it up and film it, and we'll see how it goes. But hopefully it stopped. I don't know. We'll see. All right, I dropped that unit in let me get this stuff fixed. In Madison, worked out pretty good. Got up there right around 3 o'clock. I lost a little bit of time because I missed an exit, so I just wasn't paying attention to the GPS, I guess. But I'll be home. I did stop and fuel up again while I'm up here in Wisconsin, just because I wanted to get the cheaper fuel. So I did, like I said, I filled up at the TA that I usually stop at when I'm headed up to this dealership, but I stopped on the way back. I had 40% fuel, so definitely, could have made it home, and I figured by the time I got home and then Dad headed to Indiana, at that point I'm going to be filling up in Indiana for probably at least like 30-40 cents a gallon more. And if I were to try to fill up tomorrow morning before I head out of my town, I'm going to be like 75 cents a gallon more. So I didn't really want to stop because I just wanted to get home, but I had to use the bathroom anyway, so I figured stop, fill up, use the bathroom, go home. So I only added like 10 minutes to my drive, which was nice. But a little bit of a scary situation when I unhooked that camper. I had asked the guy that was doing the inspection, like, you guys got any blocks? Because the parking lot there is a little bit uneven. And normally they have a bunch of blocks like piled up in the grass, but they just got like 10 inches of snow over the weekend. So they're probably underneath the snow piles that the plow pushed. But he's like, nah, it'll be okay. And when I unhooked it kind of slid back about 6 inches. So that was a little bit scary, but it stopped. So I probably will definitely be making sure I get some blocks next time I'm there. It's just like I said, usually they're all sitting there, and I'm pretty sure the plow probably pushed them all up into a snow pile. But it's supposed to be warm next week, and everything will be melted probably by then. And I don't know when I'm going to be going back to that dealership. That's really the only dealership I've been to that I can think of that it's not like a level drop that you drop the camper at. So yeah, that's pretty much the one I can think of that's like that. But it was a quick inspection. He actually signed off on it before we even went outside. He's like, oh man, that semi just cut me off. He signed off on it before we even went out. So he's like, I know it's gonna be good. He's like, I just got to go out and take a few pictures. So, but so it was just a quick walk around. Yeah, I'm pulling the exact same trailer tomorrow. I think if I get some time, I want to adjust my hitch just a little bit because it was nosediving a bit. I couldn't really tell that it was too bad when I was hooking up at Jayco, just in like the uneven parking lot. But then I actually had a friend that was driving down the highway and saw me, and he sent me a picture or video. He's like, man, that thing's nosediving pretty hard. So it's some of them that I hook up, they're completely level, and then the other ones are nosediving a bit. But I think if I raise my hitch up like one adjustment spot, I think I'll be able to just leave it at that. And even the ones that are kind of level now, they probably won't be really unlevel. I think one of the reasons this one was nosediving was because it does have a lot of tongue weight, so I was bringing the back end of my truck down a little bit. I want to get an airbag system installed eventually, especially because I think I'm buying a golf cart for camping season this year, and I'm going to be probably putting it in the bed of my truck if I don't upgrade to a fifth wheel. And I think just with that added weight, I'm definitely going to want airbags. My current travel trailer, I think it weighs about 8,000 pounds. It's 37 feet. So I think adding in a golf cart will definitely bring the back end down a bit. So I'll probably start looking at airbag systems. I'll either install myself or I'll take it somewhere to get installed. If I do it, I think I may take it somewhere because I would like one that operates inside the truck with a compressor system. So we'll see. I got to figure that out, but I got a little bit of time before that's necessary. I think my next purchase will be the fifth wheel hitch for now, and then save up a little before I spend some money again, since the fifth wheel is going to cost me probably about $1,400. But yeah, so got that drop. Should be home around 5:30, and I'm going to be headed to Sheboygan tomorrow, picking up at Jayco again, same trailer, and we'll get it up there. And then I don't know if I have a load. I don't have a load yet for Friday. I'll probably, if I don't hear anything, I'll probably reach out to my dispatcher tomorrow just to see